Hello, and welcome to the Empowerography Podcast. This is a platform created for women's voices to be heard and a place to share their stories, journeys, and successes with the world for the purpose of helping other women who might be on similar journeys. We are empowering women one episode at a time. I'm your host, Brad Walsh, so kick back, grab one of your favorite beverages, and enjoy the stories. The world needs to hear your message and your story, so don't deny the world of that gift within you that the universe has given you. Someone out there needs to hear your story because it will support them in feeling hope, inspired, and even transformed. Do you want to discover how I help get my clients out of their own way, show up, and confidently share their message? I would love to extend an invitation to you to join me in my free masterclass, Start Your Own Podcast from Idea to Implementation, on Wednesday, April 5th at 1 p.m. Eastern. You can find the registry link in the show notes. Hope to see you there. Hello there, Brad Walsh here, your host of the Empowerography Podcast. Today, my guest is Wendy Cunningham. She is a professional speaker, an author, an ambassador, and advocate for the special needs community, and last but certainly not least, a mother. Wendy, it is such an honor and a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so much for taking and making the time to be here with me today to share a little bit about your story, your journey, and the beautiful light you put out into the world through all the amazing work that you're doing. Wow. Welcome. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Wow. Who was that introduction?
That's that woman right there.
That was awesome. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here. I love you and what you do, and it's an honor to be asked to be on your amazing show.
Well, thank you. It is an honor to have you here, and I'm so looking forward to jumping in and sharing about all the beautiful things that you're doing. So with that being said, let us jump right in.
Okay.
I know through conversations and even just before we get on here, you are one hell of a busy woman. You always have so much going on. You wear a lot of hats. So yes. How do you find the time to do all that you do, and how important is prioritization and organization for you in order to stay on top of things?
That's exactly it. It's putting the priorities in priority order and being organized. I'm extremely organized with my time. Now, my office, we're working on that.
That's a whole other ball of wax.
That doesn't count. But with my time and with my intention, I'm intentional about what I'm doing each day and who I'm giving my time to after the husband and after the children.
Yes, of course.
And you have to be intentional though to wear so many hats. You have to put on one hat and focus on that hat. You can't wear two hats at one time and be efficient and effective with it.
Yeah, very true. And so with wearing so many hats, what does your morning routine look like?
Oh, God. Are you sure you want to know this?
Yeah, absolutely.
I am up at 4 a.m.
Oh, my.
I get up and I do my son, Christian, who has special needs. I give him his meds at 4. He's G-tube, so I can sneak it in while he's asleep. And then I go to the gym. We have a workout area in the house, and I go work out while I'm working out. So that's kind of a two-hat thing. I have YouTube videos playing where it's either something spiritual or it's something to motivate my mind or my spirit, like Joe Dispenza or a Neville Goddard, people like that. I'm feeding my mind. I could watch a movie and probably enjoy the workout a little better, but I'm like, feed your mind, especially at that time of morning. Your mind is more open. So I do that. Once I finish that, then it's time to do something else with Christian while his breakfast is going in his G-tube while he's still asleep. I take a shower. I get ready for the day. My goal is once I put him on the bus at about 7:40, I'm ready for the day. Like let me get myself ready because I have a very limited amount of time that he's in school and I'm trying to capture as many things with these hats I have as possible. So working out, having something like a smoothie in the morning because I don't have time to eat no breakfast and taking care of me. I prioritize me every day and then I can fill my cup and then I can pour out to others.
Which is absolutely key. And sometimes we forget about that because we get caught up in all the things that we have to do. We forget about us.
Yeah, it's easy to do.
For sure.
And most people say, I can't get up at 4. I'm like, well, I can think of some celebrities or some important people in my life that I would get up at 4 o'clock for. I have to make myself first. Absolutely. I don't enjoy it. Trust me. The pillow feels especially comfortable at 4 in the morning. But that's the time I know there's no interruptions. No one's going to be calling me. There's nothing I need to do. And that's the time I can dedicate every day for myself.
Love it. So what drives, motivates, and inspires you to keep going and excelling at all that you do, Wendy?
to have an effect on people, to be able to take what I've learned in my life's journey, right? All of the pitfalls, the trips, the heartaches, and prayerfully keep someone else from having to go through that, or at the very least, let someone understand it. They're not alone in what they're going through, because that's what we do when we're going through some challenges or life throws you a curveball. You kind of go within, and the more you go within, you think you're by yourself. And so for all of my hats is about empowering people, women, men. When I can get to a teenager, that just gets me, because I'm like, hopefully I'm catching you early enough where you don't make these mistakes, where you learn that you are beautiful. Men and women. And just on a side note, my daughter is in heaven almost 11 years now, but I have boys, and all of the propaganda about girls, your bodies are special and you should do. Man, if we taught our boys that too.
For sure.
And I taught my son, my youngest is 20, he's special needs, but that 22-year-old, honey, your body is special. You treat yourself well. You use discernment when you're meeting anyone.
We do have to teach our boys these things as well, because they're affected by it as well. It's not as publicized in the media or talked about in the media as much as it is.
And that bothers me. You have to empower people that they are important, and that when they get older and they get into the relationship aspects of their lives, then they're better equipped, because they have hopefully gained some sense of self. But I just enjoy learning about people and then taking what I know, right, and pouring into someone else. Like I'm basically an open book. I tell people my story, and I've heard people say, oh man, I've gone through this and I don't tell anybody. I'm like, you got to tell your story. Why are we embarrassed to tell our stories?
We do, because when we share our stories, it also is a permission slip for others to share theirs. They can learn from our stories to hopefully, as you said, you hope you reach the teens young enough so that they don't have to go through some of the same things that we have been through or that others have been through. Right? Teach them, guide them.
But you have to tell your story in order to do that.
And we all have a story, because therein lies the other problem, is that a lot of people don't think they have a story, and everybody does.
Yeah. Or they're scared of the judgment, people whispering. I was like, honey, people going to whisper no matter what you do. No matter what you say. Even when you're hiding, someone is going to be talking about you. You got to stand in your truth and own it.
I love that. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm curious, can you share with us what you were doing for a living before you made the jump into entrepreneurship, and what was the catalyst for that?
Oh, wow. You want me to go back a little far, huh?
Yeah. We're going way back.
I started my life in 6th grade. I learned how to type really fast, because at my grade school, you got a trophy if you type fast. And so me and Randy Snow, wherever you are, I was, ooh, that boy can type. I'm like, how you going? So in my head, it was a competition. So because I learned how to type so early and fast, I was always pushed into an office environment. And when you're a teenager, corporate is fun. I get to dress up and I get to be around adults and my other friends. And it's nothing against the fast food or retail industry. I just know I would not have lasted. But it's funny. I kind of tripped into entrepreneurship. My cousin was selling Mary Kay, and just to support her, I started using it, and then she stopped. And then the person I went to afterwards was like, hey, have you ever thought of? No, honey. I'm in corporate. I dress up, I was a little snooty, right? And she tricked me into going to see this powerful woman in Mary Kay. I think she's all of 5'2". She was bright and shiny and pretty. And she was saying how we get up, we grab our commuter mug and we leave to catch a train or drive. And she's like, I go downstairs. I send my children to school and I go downstairs and work. And I was like, wait, what? Hold on. You get what? And I hadn't had children yet. And I had decided that when I had children, I wanted to be present in their life. And I didn't really know what that looked like, because I've always worked. And so I said, well, maybe this would be a vehicle because I'm not to stay at home and baking cookies. I'm not, honey, that is not me. But I wanted to be there when they had sports things or when they had the assemblies or whatever, volunteer at lunch like I did with my oldest son. And that's how I kind of tripped into Mary Kay. And unbeknownst to me, when we had Paige, in 98, beautiful, healthy little girl, at 13 months, she contracted meningitis and that left her disabled. So I went from being part-time because I wanted her to spend more time with me to I need to quit because I need to take care of this little girl. And so now I'm sitting here like, now I need to take this entrepreneurship stuff seriously. I wasn't raised in an environment where there was entrepreneur. I heard the word, but what it was, people sold lipstick or people sold widgets. I call them widgets just to cover everything. And I had no idea, but I had to figure it out at that point. My husband at the time He was working and that was great. We were blessed, but I've always made my own money. And so that's kind of kept me in that. And then I was introduced to Melaleuca, and then, honey, somebody said, join me in this book. And I'm like,
I'm not a writer.
Not a writer, right? And I became a writer. But, in that time, we had a total of 3 children. I found myself divorced with 3 kids, 2 special needs, and I'm by myself. So now I really got to figure out. It was a lot. And I had to figure out a way to not only take care of the financial aspects of our life, but to keep something for me. Because Christian and Paige had completely different disabilities. Yeah. And I'm trying to keep Matthew, the middle child, in a somewhat normal childhood position where he can grow up and see, he can remember something happy. So it was challenging, but I found that having my own businesses allowed me to be home on 3 different spring break weeks, or if somebody was sick, somebody was in the hospital, I could be there. Whereas your typical job, my job called me while Paige was initially in the hospital, and they said, we need you to make a decision. And I'm 30, so I'm working from 12 to 30 in corporate. I understood. Mm-hmm. And I said, well, honey, you're going to have to post that position, and it's fine, but I have to take care of this child.
Yeah,
I won't be back.
That's your priority. Paige was your priority.
My feelings were not hurt because I had a boss when I was still in high school tell me, don't ever come to work sick. Because if you die today, we're going to post your position. We're going to send your family flowers, and we're going to keep it moving. I was like, oh, you think you're indispensable?
Yeah.
No.
But he kept it real.
I kept that in my head when they called. I said, I knew it was coming. I just waited for y'all to call me. And then I had to take care of myself. And then I had to take care of these kids.
Which is the priority, you and the kids. 100%.
Yeah.
The job 100. Can understand that you have to tend to your child who needs you the most right now. Sorry, but there is no choice here.
Right.
Really.
I mean, they don't have to understand, right?
No.
They just need a body in that seat doing the job so that bottom line stays where they need it to be.
That's right.
And I respect that, honey. Get it, honey. Somebody else can have that job because the job that I need to do is take care of these children.
And you opened a door for someone else to get an opportunity by doing so.
Take the job. Just go ahead. You can have it.
So I want to dive in and speak a little bit about your work as an ambassador, an advocate for the special needs community, and all the beautiful work you do around that. Of course, I'm sure that Christian and Paige were part of that inspiration to get into this world. But what other pieces of inspiration were there? And how has this journey influenced your own personal growth and perspective on life?
Okay, that was a lot. Yeah, like taking care of Paige and Christian. But Matthew was an important piece as well. Because in addition, Paige and Christian were easy to take care of in the sense that I had a schedule and I followed it. Now, if they ended up in the hospital for whatever reason, that would deviate the schedule. But for the most part, I knew what to do with them. Matthew, my healthy child, I got to make sure I'm pouring into him. I have to make sure he's important. I have to make sure he is not resentful of his siblings because we can't. Honey, my kids are 3 years apart. So at one point when I was newly divorced, Christian wasn't even 1 yet. Matthew was 3 and Paige was 6. I had 2 wheelchairs. If school was out, honey, I can't really push around 2 wheelchairs and then keep up with, I don't know if you know about boys. Y'all got this energy that
you can't contain it. Yeah.
So I'm trying to keep up with Matthew. So my goal was to make sure he had a healthy outlook on the lives of his siblings. And so I got to a point in my life, I'm like, okay, what do I really want to do? What do I really want to do? That they say, what would you do if you weren't paid? It for darn sure was not any job I've ever held. It wasn't even the businesses that I had because let them close or stop paying. I just stopped calling that my business, right? And I said, I'm hardcore for the underdog, the people who are considered, who aren't valued. And through my experience raising the children that I had, I saw it. I saw it from doctors. I saw it from attorneys. I saw it from the teachers. Like they put their hand on their chest and they just feel sorry for you. I don't want you to feel sorry for me. I am fine. My children are fine. Now, if you can help, if you can't, I don't have time for this. So for 12 years, I'm a single mom. And for 12, maybe 10 years, I was in the house. I take care of the kids when they went to dad. I call it the Martha Stewart stuff. I go to the store, I'd meal prep, I'd clean the house. Yeah. I do laundry, iron. I do all of the things. And I was slipping into a valley because I'm like, there is no one on this earth who has given birth to 2 special needs children. Mm-hmm. Now, mind you, Paige and Matthew were born healthy. And then we get pregnant with Christian. I'm literally just trying to see if it's a boy or girl. And that's when we find out something is wrong with him in utero. So that messed with the depression as well. But I kept telling myself, I'll have a date maybe, right? But no one's going to sign on to this crazy. It depends on the day, how up I am or how down I am. So as I'm thinking about what I wanted to do, I'm like, I got to help. And I only know the woman's side, right? Yeah. I need to help women not sink into that valley where you're doing crazy stuff. I mean, and I told you, like, I'm an open book. At one point, I'm doing a double shot of straight vodka every night. And that's not a lot to some people, but for me, it's a lot. And on both sides of my family, there's addiction. But that's what I found. I did the one shot. I'm like, I'm not really sleeping with that. Let me do the double shot. And it was several months into that. I'm like, girl, pour all of this down the drain because you are going to spiral. And if you spiral, who's going to take care of these kids? So I want to stop a woman from sinking to a space where she is doing drugs or she's doing alcohol or she's doing something else to harm herself because she feels like she's by herself. And so I said, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. It's easy, right? No, it's not.
You think it's easy. It sounds easy.
It's really easy. I mean, if you go on to the WendyLyfe YouTube, LYFE, you'll see the lighting is bad, the sound, but the message is there. And I said, God, I want to just put the message out there to let someone know as I'm taking care of my kids. I didn't go out a lot, but I could turn on the TV and I would watch things. So if someone could turn on their computer or their television and see my video and feel like, oh, there is someone else out there like me. Now, the one person at that time, and it was, God help me, 2018, 15 to 18, something like that. The one person I saw on YouTube, she looked like she hadn't slept in a week. And I gave her grace for that, right? But I'm like, I want people to see that you can smile. You can be happy. You can put on your good red lipstick and show up. You can show up for life, even though life is being crazy. But these are the things you have to do to keep yourself up. And so I did that. And then from that point, I'm newly married to James. And he's a whole author and a speaker. And he got his master's and doctorate. I'm like, okay, well, good for you. He wrote a book. And then through his book, we were introduced into this production company. He was like, when do you need to have your own show? I'm like, I have my YouTube channel. And she's like, we mean real, like lights, camera, like the professional stuff. And I had told God that particular year, I said, whatever opportunity comes my way, I'm going to say yes before I can talk myself out of it. Because I know it's hard to believe, but I was painfully shy growing up in the inner city.
You?
Oh, God. When I met you and we were sitting next to each other, there's no way I would have talked to you. There's no way I would have answered your questions with the one word. Can he just leave me alone? Stop talking to me. So it's still there sometimes when I'm approached with an opportunity. I'm like, are you serious? I said, just yes. And that's how the official WendyLyfe came to be. And it just opened up new things. And from there, when Paige passed in 2013, people who met me afterwards would say, Wendy has 2 boys. And that hurt my heart, right? But they didn't know. And I said, so they need to understand I'm going to talk about Paige. So I say I have 3 children. I have a daughter in heaven who this year would have been 26. I have a almost 23-year-old. Somebody pray for me. And then the youngest is 20. Again, pray for me because he wants to flirt and he doesn't have a job or benefits. But that's my life. So we started the Paige Awards. And the Paige Awards, man, the premise of the Paige Awards is to just award people in the special needs community. Someone who's doing something amazing, overcoming their handicap or their disability, whatever it is, every day. Like we're talking about crazy stuff, I didn't sleep or the eyelash curl I didn't curl. Just in the grand scheme of things, not important things. Yeah. So we award people who have disabilities and it's amazing. But we also recognize that there's no way we can take care of our loved ones without the people in the field every day. Your doctors, your attorneys, your paraprofessionals, your teachers, all of those people in the community who help. They just get up with a heart for the community to help. And so this August is our 7th year.
Wow. That's
I'm like,
incredible.
Nobody's going to show up for this. Don't nobody care about the special needs. And
here you are 7 years later.
And it's getting bigger every year. It's a room full of love. I tell people, I said, even if you've never had experience with someone with disability, come to this. You'll leave standing taller, being more appreciative of your own blessings, with a more compassionate about the people that you see, that you look at, that you stare at, that you ask rude questions. If someone's asked me what is wrong with Christian, the first thing I say is there's nothing wrong with him. Mm-hmm. Maybe the question you want to ask is, what's his diagnosis, or even what makes him different. But you will not put that label on my child as to what is wrong with him.
Because there's nothing wrong.
There's nothing wrong with him. He's a beautiful human being. He's amazing. That's kind of how all that got started. And that literally gets me up in the morning. I'm going to be talking to this person and they have a disability I've never heard of. And they're doing something that I wouldn't even do, right? Like you're running marathons with one leg and a prosthetic. These are the true heroes of our society. These are the true strong people they're stronger than we are. 100%. And it's my goal to make society understand that, bring that awareness to society. That these people
and you're doing that every day. Yeah.
And it's a blessing. Every person I meet, I'm just like, this is so good. James knows she got an interview because she is happy and rocking and can't wait. Like it's tomorrow. Like Christmas is tomorrow. When is it? But and then people are honored that they're being recognized. No one's feeling sorry for them. No one is staring at them. No one is asking them crazy questions. I said, honey, if we're talking and there's something that I'm not bringing up, bring it up. Because our goal is to bring that awareness. My first guest told me, she said, any one of us could become disabled at any point. I had never thought about that.
Because we don't.
We don't. People have sudden health challenges or an accident or whatever, and they're left disabled. But you were the one parking in the handicapped parking spot. You were the one not holding the door for someone in a wheelchair, right? You treat people how you want to be treated. I was at Target and a woman was standing in between the doors in a wheelchair by herself. And I'm like, what? You need help? She said, no, my daughter went to find a manager because there were no scooters in the store. And I said, how long have you been waiting? She goes, it's been a while. I'm like, oh, honey, I got you.
I get this.
Why is she here? And that should not even be a question. She should be able to go and I'm sorry, Target. I know it's other stores. But it was just my experience at time. And I found a manager, like she needs a scooter. Now she's standing in the middle in this space by herself. No. And everyone's walking past her.
Of course they are.
It's not my business, whatever. I've been screamed at, I'm
not getting involved.
Yeah, we got to get involved.
We do.
We're a community. We're supposed to get involved.
Yes, 1000% agreed with you.
Yeah.
I love your mission. I think it's beautiful and it's much needed in the world.
Yeah, I love it. I love oh my gosh. I can talk all day about this.
I know. Now, in your advocacy or ambassador work, how do you challenge and break down stereotypes surrounding individuals with special needs, and what impact have you witnessed as a result of these efforts?
It's twofold. The challenge I have is having people tune in. If it doesn't pertain to them, if it's not an aspect of their life, why am I going to watch the WendyLyfe? Because you don't know. That's exactly why, because you don't know. And no matter who my guest is, you're going to learn something. But then the person who's coming on and talking, many times this is the first time they've been given the space to tell their story, to talk about their highs and especially their lows, to bring that awareness to people. But the challenge is often, I'll donate to the Paige Awards, but I'm not going to you need to be there. Thank you. I'm going to take your money. We always need money, right? But you need to be there. You need to bring your family, bring your children, bring your friends, bring your coworkers. Because this is a space where you get a group of people with different disabilities. You see how they're smiling. You see how they're because Christian is usually the loudest one in the room. You see me. You see my husband. You see my ex-husband. He is Paige's father. He is there. He needs to be there. You see us getting along. But then you're seeing these different people reaching. Because I painstakingly go over the seating chart. Because I want people who I think would benefit from each other to be near each other. And I've often heard, we connected and we exchanged. I'm not saying anything like, Brad, I'm going to sit you over here. I just do it because organically you start having a conversation, being in that space, and you realize you have similarities. And oftentimes, like my children, Paige fell under the umbrella of cerebral palsy. Christian has Dandy Walker syndrome.
I've never heard of that.
Palsy, exactly. I've met one person in Christian's 20 years who knew what I was talking about. But in its simplest forms, the base of his brain didn't fully form in utero. Also, our brains, we have two hemispheres, but then we have cables that allow them to communicate. He does not have that at all. Okay. That's called the corpus callosum. He does not have one. Yeah, so I didn't reach out to people with autism. My kids don't have autism. They have a beautiful machine behind them that needs more, of course, that should be bigger, definitely. But no one had really heard of. And cerebral palsy is huge. What does that mean? So I just kind of stayed home. And I'm like, but if you think about the journey, it's the same. You've had great doctors. You had idiot doctors.
Yeah, of course.
You had great people. You had to fight at school to get them the services they deserve that's legally theirs.
They're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're staying by ourselves in this space because we think no one's going to understand. Well, yeah, we do. I may not understand autism, but I understand this journey. We're happy. We're sad. We're celebrating the smallest things. We're crying over the littlest things. So we understand that. And to create that community, oh my gosh, it makes a difference.
It always comes down to community. Community is the foundation for all of it.
But we live in a world that's about me.
It needs to
Until
shift.
I need you.
Yeah, exactly. Until I need something.
Exactly. But what if you just showed compassion on a daily basis? What if you just say, what can I do to serve you?
It's a very simple concept. Yet we have such a hard time grasping it. And I think it's sad. It really is.
It's very sad. But there's a group of people out there, yourself, what we're doing here.
Yes.
People who want to do service is honorable.
That's what we're here for, to be in and of service to one another, period.
Exactly.
It's pretty simple.
We make it hard.
We do. We complicate the hell out of things. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm here for that. I'm here for the lesson.
Yeah.
I'm here to teach you this lesson.
Well, that's it, right? People like yourself, people like me, people who are doing all of this kind of work. That's part of what we're here for, is to teach the others that this is how it should be.
And every time you reach someone.
And that's what
I don't mind the people that I don't reach.
One person.
Just one person. And that's what. It's funny. Whenever I speak, I say, Lord, I'm scared. I'm still a little girl from the inner city, shy. But I said, if I could just reach one person, what part of my story would reach that one person in the audience? Let me say it. And I'm going to say it. I will have a page of notes and then I will say something totally different because I'm led in a different way, because I allow God to just lead me. So it just takes one.
That's it. That is it.
I do want to change the world by Friday, but it starts with one person.
And we just keep that in mind, that one person. Absolutely.
That one person. Definitely.
Of course, education, as we're just speaking about, is a crucial aspect. So how do you advocate for and work towards creating a more inclusive educational system for individuals with special needs? And what changes would you like to see in this regard?
Oh, honey.
You got an hour.
I need more.
You got
I need
2
days. It goes back to that one person. I have had to, in my non-inner city way, teach someone.
School.
Yeah. When you're in this IEP meeting, and that's the individualized educational plan, where you plan the services that your child needs to supplement the school, the education that they're getting. And I've had people ask me the craziest questions, and I will stop and say, okay, so I need you to understand that this child is not the cookie cutter plan that you have. He needs this equipment. And I know that you're required to get the equipment that he needs. We're in an IEP meeting, you're typically by yourself and you're surrounded by 6 to 8 people. All the therapists, the nurse, the social worker, maybe the principal, the teacher, all these people who you feel are smarter than you. But I will sit there and I'll say, the vision teacher would say, well, he doesn't really see. He sees. What are you showing him? I'm the parent that's going to ask the question, who's going to challenge you. I may not know all of my answers, but we're going to stay here in this room until it makes sense. Because if you can't explain it in a way that makes sense to me, you shouldn't be in this space. What I'd love to see changed is it be more individualized. I know it's called individual education plan, but it's kind of a blanket thing. Every year I get the same packet for Christian asking me crazy questions. What activities does he like to do? He lays on the floor, honey. Have you seen him? Does he speak English or Spanish? Honey, have you met him? He baby babbles, right? You're asking me questions. And so over the years, even when Paige was here, I had 2 IEP meetings to go to because they're in different schools. And I would just have to go in there and pray and just listen. You need to learn how to listen to me. I cannot fill this out because it's painful. You're telling me how far can this person walk? They don't walk. What do you want to see for your child? I want to see them play with the other kids. I mean, you're asking me what I want.
Yeah, and I'm telling you.
My question is, what can you provide with what you know from the experience that you have and the education that you went to school for? Help me figure out the answer to that. I want Christian walking, trying to stay with his brother, go to the bars and he's not old enough. I want that. So what's the real question you're asking me? But I'd like it to be more individualized. I'd like for it to be, for more information to be there. I didn't know until many years into the school system that I could take someone with me, an advocate to come with me. I had been doing this by myself because Dad was at work. Dad had to work. So I'm in these meetings by myself. And it took someone finally saying, you can take someone with you. I didn't know that.
Thank you for telling me now.
Yeah. So it would be great to have, I don't know, a checklist or someone like that social worker to say, okay, your IEP meeting is coming up. You can have someone come. And if you don't have any idea who it will be, here's a list of agencies or people who would come and help. There are people who specialize in IEPs. So lots of changes. Like what Christian is 20 at 22 here. I have no idea what happens to him. He ages out of the school system. I have no idea what happens. Why don't I know that? And he's 20.
You should. That's only 2 years away.
It's only 2 years away. They're like, well, we have work study programs. Where do you see him working? He's 20, but he's like a 6 to 9 month old. Where do you see him working, honey? Because if I can get him a job, trust, he will have a job. So it's children like Christian, the lower ability children. What happens to him if something were to happen to me and his dad? Not a clue. We should have things in place for that. But things don't pop up unless a politician has the same issue or a celebrity has that same issue and they start advocating for it. That should just be a given.
It should be. It's a basic human right.
Well, you think so, but unless you have a disability, unless you're a senior, unless you're a veteran, like I can go on about that. These people should not want for anything.
No, they shouldn't. It should just be automatic.
It should be, but you have to know who to ask. You have to know that there is a who to ask, because the doctor doesn't give you the diagnosis and then give you a list of people to call. Call these people, check in with these people. They'll help you. No, they just say, come back for your checkup. Own. Yeah, come for your checkup next year.
See you later.
Yeah.
You're on your own.
With my foundation, the You Belong Foundation, we're still babies. We're almost 2 years old. But the goal is for you to be able to go to our website and see a list of resources that can get you started.
Yes.
So that I got goals, Brad. I told you by Friday, we got to save the world.
Yeah. We're doing it one day at a time.
One day at a time. Exactly.
That's all you can do, right? One day at a time.
And I'm grateful for each day I get to do it.
There you go. And you're doing beautiful work and it's needed. And the fact, because of what you have been through with your own personal situation and what you have encountered through people you've met in this world, you have created and built exactly what you needed.
Yeah.
To help people. That's incredible. What a gift.
Yeah. I don't want anyone to go through what I went through as a married woman, going through divorce, single mom, dating, getting remarried, all of the things. I want someone to hear my story and be like, okay, I can do this. I can get up one more day and do this. I just talked to a woman recently. And so because of what I do, I always have friends saying, I want you to talk to this person. I want you to talk to this person. And at this point, I can. Eventually, I'm going to have to start delegating.
Yes.
But she was saying how for over 10 years, she's just kind of stayed to herself. And then she lost who she is. She doesn't know what she likes. Her life is being a wife and being a mom to her son is autistic. I'm like, no, we have to find you. Because once you lose you, you're not the mother you need to be for this child. Yep. You're not even the wife you need to be because you're worn out. Been there.
Yep.
And just after talking to her, inviting her to my mom's brunch every month and telling her about the You Belong Foundation and a couple other foundations I know that support autism, I could just tell her voice was different. She's, oh my God, this is just what I needed. And I said, thank you, God, because that was my one that day. I said, okay, Lord, we did it this day. Because hopefully she's going to pass that on.
And I'm sure she will.
Yeah. It's
will.
Exciting. I love it. It's a blessing to be able to take my story and see it have a purpose.
I can hear it in your voice. I can see it in your smile.
Yeah.
It's powerful.
I love it.
Yeah, I can tell. Self-advocacy is very empowering. So how do you foster an environment that encourages individuals with special needs to advocate for themselves when they can? And can you share stories where self-advocacy has led to significant change?
So for my children, I had to be their advocate. They didn't speak. But for those who do, I have always driven people crazy because I will ask you a question until you are like laying on the floor, please stop. But I have to keep asking until it makes sense to me. And so I tell people, ask questions. When you go in the doctor's office, and a lot of times they're in a hurry, they're behind, or because of insurance, whatever reason, they don't give you the time that you feel you need. I just warn them, like, I have a lot of questions. You might want to tell the nurse that you're going to be a little more behind. You have to ask questions. You have to know how to take care of yourself medically. You have to know what's out. I can be at a podiatrist. Christian needed, what did he need? He needed something. And I was asking every field. It wasn't even their field because they may know something or they may know someone who knows something.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And I found information that way. I'll say, Brad, I'm looking for a sitter. I know you're in Canada, but true story. James and I were in Florida. We're in Chicago. We were in Florida for a business event. We met a woman who was there from Jersey. Like I said, I'm trying to find a sitter, y'all. It was by the blessing of the Lord, we made it here. Yeah. And so during the break, she came to me. She goes, I may know someone for you. And we're like, honey, we don't live in Jersey. She goes, no, I know someone in Illinois who may be able to help you. And we met her and she's one of our sitters.
There you go. It's the gift of sharing, asking
questions. But you can't be embarrassed. You can't be embarrassed. This is your story and you have to own it. But you're saying, ask the questions, figure out if you're able. My one friend has multiple sclerosis and her light shines brighter than the sun. She is amazing, but she had to learn what were her limitations, not to tell people to help her, but to tell people to be patient because she was determined to do it. I'm going to cook dinner. Now you might have to snack a little bit
until it's
ready. Might take a little. Yeah. She got a Paige Award in 22. And she was like, Wendy, do you want me to use my buggy to go up there? Do you want me to walk? I said, what do you want to do? And she goes, I want to walk, but it may take. I said, we're going to sit here for as long as it takes you to get there.
Yes.
And you can see that's really what she wanted. She wanted to walk.
Someone to say that to her, to let her know that it's okay.
Yeah.
Take your time. I don't care. We got all day.
We got dinner. We got water and coffee. We're fine. Yeah, and you could just tell she's so good. She just, I didn't want to take too long because honey, we're here. We got the room. It's fine. And you saw her light up. Yeah. So you just need that one person to say you can.
Yes.
Yes, you can. I've told many a doctor to get out of the room because they were trying to tell me something. They told me Christian wouldn't live past 3, that he would never lift his head. The boy lifted his head at 17 in the middle of the pandemic. That boy sat up by himself. I thought I was going crazy because I left the room. He came back and he's sitting. I'm like, oh my God, did I leave him sitting up? Like, I'm such a bad mother. I left him sitting up and I left. Oh my God. And then it happened a couple more times. I'm like, this boy, is this child sick? And then one day I caught it. He had this look of determination on his face. And he sat up. He's 17 at this time. Doctors don't never. I listen to what they feel they have to say. I don't get mad. Oh, okay. You can leave now. But Mom, nothing. I know him way better than you will ever know him. Way better. Yeah. Paige had severe scoliosis. Paige laid there. We had to rotate her. She had oxygen. She had a lot of things going on. We went to the spinal orthopedic surgeon. Oh yeah, I can straighten that out. We didn't have surgery. And I wasn't here for that. We're not having surgery. He goes, but I can straighten it. I said, but you also said that it could go back. What I know myself, because I've seen it, it's a very hard to recover from, painful, bloody surgery. Why would I do that to her? Nope. He's still saying, but. I said, do you have children? And he said, yeah. I said, so if your daughter laid there like my daughter, and this kind of surgery, this kind of big surgery is not going to improve her quality of life, would you really put her through that? And you saw the light bulb. Ooh. I said, so now from this point on, I want you to think about each individual. I know your job. You pay your bills because you do surgery. And I respect that. But you have to look at individuals. Had I not had the presence of mind to challenge you, you would have given her that surgery. And I pray, that was many years ago, I pray that he still looks at each patient individually.
Yeah, because a lot of patients or advocates would not speak up.
It's the doctor. Too scared. He's a surgeon.
He knows everything.
And then on the flip, many doctors feel that way.
Oh yeah,
the God complex. Me?
Yes.
Did you tell me no? I told you no with a period.
Yeah.
I know you can't touch this child without my signature. So let me stop wasting your time and mine. We're gonna go.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, but you have to know you have a voice. You're treating this child along with this person. You're supposed to collaborate. And if you want to get on your high horse and decide you want to dictate, you can, but I'm leaving.
Thanks very much. See you later.
Yeah. So you have to advocate. You have to, they say it more for women, but I feel all of us are here with a sixth sense. Some doesn't really sound right, but sometimes we're like, well, I don't want to seem rude. I don't want to make them mad, or I don't care. At the end of the day, y'all going to be like, Wendy, you let her have the surgery? Nope. I don't know. We've never been back to that doctor.
There you go.
So ask the questions. Yep. Speak your mind.
Looking ahead, Wendy, what are your aspirations for the future of the special needs community, and what steps can individuals, communities, and societies take to ensure a more inclusive and supportive future?
You have to first care. You have to care about your neighbor. You have to care about that person you see in a wheelchair. You have to care that when you pull up, and it's happened so many times with us, I'm just running in the store for a minute. I'm going to just park here because it's close. Mm-hmm. That's just when that person and we have the van where the lift comes out. We need the lines next to the space. Right. And you're just running there for a minute. Start showing compassion. Start thinking about the fact that any of us can become disabled at any point. Now, how would you want to be treated? If you're in a wheelchair and many places aren't equipped with the automatic doors or the button you can push to open the doors, how hard is it to open a door for someone? But if you want to learn, there's plenty out there. The youbelongfoundation.org is one way. Christian is on there. Lord, my ham. Paige is on there. You have to want to. We have all been in space. It's called the You Belong Foundation because special needs or not, we've all been in a space. We didn't feel like we don't belong here. I'm not good enough to be here. We've all been in those spaces. So remember that time when you were in that space and look at the next person. What can I do? Is there something I can do? Even if that person said nothing, you've said something, you've offered. But we're too scared about what somebody's going to say. I have been yelled at. I don't need any help. Okay, well, have a good day. I just know I needed to ask. Because I ought to beat myself
human
up.
Decency.
Yeah. So the future for the special needs community would be enforceable rules that support rules and laws that support the special needs community. Like I said, there should be accessibility everywhere, and there still isn't. We have gone to church and it snowed, and they moved snow everywhere but from the ramp that we used. We were the only wheelchair. So even if you don't know any wheelchairs that's in that space, make sure that there's a space. That's the one place we're supposed to be able to access. Now, luckily for us, they had strong security. They carried him up the stairs. But I'm like, you shouldn't have to do that. People need to have that compassion. Make laws where we don't have to scrimp and scrape for everything. We asked insurance to pay for a bath chair for Christian. They told us no.
Something as simple as a bath chair.
So you're saying because he can't stand up in a shower, he can't sit down in a tub. Oh, well, that became a fight for us.
But it shouldn't be a fight.
It shouldn't be. It should be a given. And we had gotten approved for once in the past. So it was some kind of change that they made. We don't want to pay for that. That shouldn't be a question. That should be done. Okay, yeah, when you need it. But it becomes a fight. Anything you attach special needs to, disability to, the price escalates.
We need to change that narrative.
We need to change that narrative. And I'm here for it.
I know you are.
The mayor of my little town, he's not ready yet. Because I'm going to start showing up to the village hall meetings. I'm going to ask for a meeting with him. I'm starting with my area, and then I plan to branch out. Because
that's where it starts is here.
Yeah, it starts here. But past my lifetime, I want people to have a better life, a more accessible life, a life that they can enjoy because of something we did today. And we're going to do it.
Absolutely. I have no doubt in my mind. With you at the helm, 100%.
Yeah, I am that fighter for you. All day.
Yeah. As mentioned at the beginning, Wendy, you're an author. I would love for you to speak a little bit about your journey into the world of becoming an author. The book, can you tell us about the title, the subject matter, and what that experience was like for you putting your story out into the world?
I went into the world of writing, kicking and screaming. Okay, so James he's written 2 books. He writes wonderfully. So I hired a friend who she is a business coach. And I said, okay, coach me. And so first thing, and I'm that student. I want you to help me, but then I'm going to fight you the whole way, right? And so she goes, go live on Facebook. I'm like, I don't want to do that. What else you got? She's, oh my God, go live. So I started doing that. And then for 3 years, Christian and I went live every Wednesday just to talk about whatever God gave me or an experience we had in my world of being a mom with special needs. And then she goes, well, I know this person who she's doing what is it called? An anthology. You should be in it. I'm like, what's an anthology? She goes, you and a group of women write your stories. I'm like, write? I'm not a writer. What else you got? Tracy, I love you. And so I said, well, let me see. And let me just write and see what it. So I became part of it. And I found it cathartic. Because at this point, Paige had passed. And I wanted to tell my story of this beautiful young woman that I was blessed to be the mother to. And I said, okay, I'm going to write. And I found myself writing and crying. And I'm like, Wendy, girl, it's a story. I'm an English person. I love English. No, math, no, but I love English. I said, just write from your heart and let's see. So the name of the story is Love Mama. It was 3 volumes and I'm in the 2nd volume. And my story is about the struggle that I went through when Paige passed, feeling like I had done something wrong. The mourning process, which when people tell you time heals all wounds, it does not. You will always have that gaping hole. You just learn how to tiptoe around it sometimes, jump over it. Sometimes you fall in, but you get better adept at pulling yourself out of it. But the hole is always there. So that was the story. I am in the process of writing my solo book.
Oh, very nice.
And the challenge with writing about your own story is your story is not just about you. It involves other people.
Yes.
And so although divorced from my kid's dad, he's an amazing person, but I have to write about some of the bad things, not to make him look bad.
It's just part of your story.
It's just part of my story. My family is part of my story. My own father, who I don't have a relationship with, is still part of my story. So that's my struggle, but it will be done.
I know it will.
This year, 2024. I've said it publicly.
There you go. It is out there in the universe now. You've
put
it out there. That's it.
I put it
it's
out
happening.
there. And it's funny. The Lord is say when, say when. I'm like, no, I don't say when.
I'm going to keep tabs on you on this.
I want you to. I
will be accountable.
That's another hat I got to find when I can put it on, but it can happen.
It will happen. Not it can. It will.
It will. I like that. Thank you.
I'm going to check in with you. Remember, you heard it here first.
I know. You got my number. I can't say.
I do.
But it's important. It's just another aspect of telling my story and being able to tell it in a way that I may not be able to speak to this group of people, but they can pick up this book and find some aspect of my life. I was introduced to marijuana very young. I was in the inner city. I fought all the time. I was promiscuous because I was sexually abused as a child. Married, divorced, special needs children, saying goodbye too soon to a daughter, raising boys. I mean, all of the things, it will tap into someone.
Yeah.
And my prayer is that it's not about me, really. It's just me telling my journey, and hopefully you glean something that you don't have to go through these bumps that I went through.
It is so much bigger than you. It's bigger than all of us.
Yes. Yeah. If I could figure out a way to write it without it being about me, I would, but I'm not that good yet.
You are an integral part of the story, though.
Yeah. And I'm thankful for all I've been through. I wouldn't be who I am today had I not been through all the crazy that I have been through.
What do you think your unique skill set or superpower is that's helped you become successful?
My superpower is my heart. I love people. And so it was like, as a very shy young girl, it would kill me because I want to be friends, but they may not like me or they may tease me. So now, not being that girl, I can show my heart. And if someone doesn't accept it, it's okay. I'm at that age where hey, you're missing out because I love hardcore. I support as much as I can. So that, and I just ask a lot of questions, which is why I have a show, because I can ask all the questions.
There you go.
That I can. But yeah, my communication and my heart are my superpowers. And I'm very good at making you feel comfortable.
Yes, for sure. That I know.
Thank you.
How do you define success? What does that word mean to you?
For me, it's not monetary at all. I feel that I have love in my home. Whenever you come to the States, Brad,
yes,
you come in my house, you feel peace, you feel welcome, you feel warmth. Not temperature warmth, you feel a warmth like you want to stay. I mean, it will be warm because depending on the weather, we have heat. But yeah, just it's about that. It's important that I feel successful every day I get up. My husband is amazing. Honey, wait till you meet him. He's Jesus. My husband is amazing. I have an amazing marriage. Yes, I would love for Christian to be a regular 20-year-old boy trying to hang out with his brother. But that's not our story. But we have love in our home.
That's it.
And we're happy. We laugh. During COVID, we laughed a lot. We watched a lot of TV. And when it got to be too much, I have a husband who will say, Wendy, go take a drive. Just go drive up and down the street and then come back. I'm good. I'm successful now. Everything else I'm doing is for other people. It's not for me. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. What does the word empowerment mean to you, Wendy?
Empowerment means that you understand who you are and whose you are. And it took me a long time, just being honest. There was many adult years that I didn't feel that. I didn't know who Wendy was. I didn't feel worthy in any space because I don't have a college degree. I wasn't able to finish college. And when you're in corporate, they beat you over the head with that. And so I never felt worthy. But for me, empowerment is knowing I know Wendy inside and out. I love every aspect of Wendy, even the parts that have shifted, dimpled, expanded over the years. But to know yourself, to love yourself, you love the good and the bad. And then the bad isn't really bad. It's the bad when you compare it to society's standard of what's good is. But because I've done so much work, I've had thousands of dollars of therapy. I've prayed a lot. I've meditated a lot. I was able to choose a husband who lifts me up at everything I do. So empowerment, once you know who you are and once you know whose you are, like I can see beauty in everything, but I couldn't see beauty in myself. And
Which
I said,
is where
okay,
it needs to start.
Right. And I need to know whose I am. If I could see he made all this beauty. And it took me days, weeks, months looking in the mirror, first thing in the morning, no makeup on, hair looking crazy, and just saying, you're beautiful. And once I owned that is when I met my husband, my second husband. And I made sure he knew who I was. You got to love me inside because the outside will change. So empowerment for me is really doing the work, getting down in the dirt, in the mud, and understanding who you are and become accepting. What would you tell a child? You probably wouldn't tell a child, you're ugly, you're stupid. No. I mean, some people, a normal person, a good person would not pour that bad stuff into a child, but we pour it into ourselves. Empowerment is pouring into yourself what you would pour into a child, someone else outside of you. So that's, for me, that's what empowerment is, because everything else falls into place after that.
Beautiful. Okay, we're going to jump into a little rapid fire section here. So the next grouping of questions just be 2, 3 forward answer. All right?
Okay. Here we go.
What is one of your favorite quotes?
I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me.
What's one thing you want but cannot buy with money?
World peace. Jeez.
If you could teach the world one thing, what would it be?
Compassion.
How would you describe yourself in one word?
Funny.
I can attest to that. What is one thing you love about yourself that is not related to your physical appearance?
Oh, my heart. My heart when you first meet me. Immediately it shows through.
Yeah, 100% it shines.
Thank you.
What is your favorite self-care practice?
Working out.
And that concludes our rapid fire section. We are done.
That wasn't bad.
Program.
I was a little nervous. Oh, Jesus.
If you could step into my shoes, what question would you have asked yourself that I didn't ask you?
Look at you. Okay, I see what you just did. Let's see. I would ask me, what could I do to be of service to you? So also you want me to, you can spread the word about the You Belong Foundation. I found that when I meet people, and I believe I asked you when I first met you, do you know anybody with a disability?
You did ask me that. Yes, you did.
So when you start that conversation, sometimes people are just waiting for that to happen. So just spread the compassion by saying, who do you know who has a disability? A lot of times you'll find it's that person. They have the invisible disability that you don't see. So just start by that. Each one, if each one of us just kind of ask, what can I do to serve you? It'll make a big difference in the world.
That is beautiful and so powerful on so many levels. And you're right, we do. We need to take a step outside of ourselves and ask that question. For sure. So
that means you're going to do it right, Brad?
Yes, I am. Of course I am.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Very good.
I always ask people, how can I help you? How can I support you? What can I do to be of service to you? Because I think we need to do that. Again, as I said before, that's part of why we're all here, is to be in and of service to one another.
It's a big part of why we're here.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
We found out during COVID that we need each other.
Yes, absolutely. 100%. And I think we need it now more than ever.
More than ever.
Yeah.
I agree completely.
If you had the opportunity, Wendy, to sit down and have a 1-hour conversation with one woman, any woman in the world, who would it be and why?
There's so many. I would say Harriet Tubman, because it's little known fact that she was disabled. She had a traumatic brain injury from being beaten by the slave owner, but yet she found the strength, not only to get herself free, but she kept going back. And she was a small woman. She was a very petite woman. But she found a way to lead hundreds of slaves to freedom. And I would love to know what kept you going, because I can't even imagine. Like, you're not catching the bus or y'all got to catch this train. You're on your feet this whole time trying to navigate the woods, the animals, the slave owners trying to find you. What made, you found your freedom and you got a couple people here. Why keep going back? I feel like I'd get a lot from that conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
And she has headaches. She's blacking out. She has a traumatic brain injury. And I've had migraines. Honey, the whole day shuts down with it. But you kept finding a way. It was some kind of resolve in her that kept her moving. And I would love to get an understanding of that. Because it wasn't poured into her. She was a slave. So, Harriet Tubman is
That would be a powerful conversation for sure.
Yeah.
One of many incredible women.
Yeah. I have a list, but I'll start with Harriet.
Harriet's number 1 on the list.
Yeah.
Wendy, if you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that piece of advice be?
You are enough. I was trying to be who Brad wanted me to be. I was trying to be who my mother wanted me to be. I was trying to be who the guy I was dating wanted me to be. It's a lot of work trying to be someone else. You are enough. You are created in a way. You have a mixture in you that's perfect, because that's the way he ordained it to be. So I would tell myself that you're good just the way you are.
Lastly, Wendy, if you were to deliver your last 30-second speech to the world, your tribe, your people, your corner of the world, what would that last 30 seconds sound like? What words of wisdom would you impart?
Wow. When you look in the mirror daily, you're not only looking at yourself, but you're looking at who the world has created in you. As you're looking at yourself, understanding that you represent not only yourself, but your world, your family, your tribe, your community, understand that you have a powerful space in that space, and you were created just for a certain mission. It doesn't have to be that you sing like this singer, that your body looks like this model, that you have this whatever, that you have several commas in your account. What matters is that your space that you own in this space that you live in, that you were created to be in, you are so powerful in that space. So once you tap into that, you look in the mirror and you say, yeah, let's go. You put on your good red lipstick and you let's go.
Beautifully said, Wendy. Thank you so very much for this incredibly enlightening.
It's been an hour?
Yeah, over an hour.
I love talking to you.
Educational, inspirational conversation. You are a bright, beautiful light in this world through the work you're doing. I think it is absolutely amazing. Thank you for taking and making the time to be here with me today, and for sharing about that light, and for sharing about your personal story and your journey. I appreciate you. Thank you for having me. Anything for you. If I could ever be of any service to you, please don't hesitate to reach out. And you know that goes right back to you. If there's anything I can do, I will always be there to help and support in any way that I can. Thank you. Thank you for that, Brad. You're awesome. My pleasure. So are you. It is my pleasure and my honor. I'm so grateful to have you as a member of the Empowerography community. So thank you for shining your light. Thank you, Brad. Once again, my name is Brad Walsh, host of your Empowerography podcast. Today, my guest has been Wendy Cunningham. She is a professional speaker, an author, an ambassador, an advocate for special needs community, and last but certainly not least, a mother. Thank you so much, Wendy. I appreciate you. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Thank you, Brad. You do the same. Thank you. Bye. Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. If you haven't yet, please be sure to subscribe, rate, review, and share with all your friends. You can find me at visuphoria.ca and follow me on Instagram at Empowerography Podcast and on Facebook at Empowerography. Please join me next time for another inspirational story from yet another amazing woman.